Something is about to happen in this peaceful school that will change the lives of the students as well as the entire village forever. And it all begins on the resumption day of the village's beloved high school. In the small village of Cabania, there was a school called Century High School. It was a very lively place, full of bright students and colorful events. The teachers were kind and everyone was happy. But one day, everything changed when a new girl arrived. Her name was Adiza. She was the most beautiful girl anyone had ever seen. Her skin was smooth and glowing, and her smile could make anyone's day better. The other students admired her, and the teachers liked her too. Adiza quickly became the most popular girl in school. But there was something very strange about Adiza. Every single day, she came to school with a new hairstyle. One day, her hair would be in neat braids, and the next, it would be in perfect curls. No one knew how she did it. The girls in the school asked her, "Adiza, who makes your hair look so beautiful? We want to go there too." But Adiza would smile and say, "Maybe one day I will take you." Days turned into weeks and weeks into months, but Adiza never took anyone to her hairstylist. The other girls started talking among themselves. Some said, "Maybe Adiza is just too proud." Others whispered, "There must be a big secret she is hiding." One girl named Boma was very curious. Boma was a brave girl who liked solving mysteries. She decided she would find out Adiza's secret no matter what. So, one night, Boma quietly followed Adiza when she was going back to her hostel. It was dark, and the moon was the only light in the sky. Boma kept her distance, making sure Adiza didn't see her. Adiza walked for a while, and then something strange happened. Instead of going to the hostel like everyone else, she went towards the thick forest behind the school. Boma's heart started beating fast, but she kept following. Adiza walked deeper and deeper into the forest until she reached a big old banga tree. The tree was very tall, with big branches that looked like they could touch the sky. Boma hid behind a bush and watched. Adiza sat down under the tree and did something unbelievable. She took off her head, placed it on her lap, and started braiding her hair. Boma couldn't believe what she was seeing. Her hands were shaking and her heart was pounding. She wanted to scream, but no sound came out. Boma ran back to the hostel as fast as she could. When she got there, she woke up two of her friends, Wofia and Ama. "You won't believe what I just saw," she said. Adiza was braiding her hair, but her head was in her lap. At first, Wofia and Ama didn't believe her. They thought Boma was joking. But when they saw how scared she was, they agreed to go with her to see for themselves. The three girls tiptoed back to the forest, their hearts beating loudly in their chests. When they reached the tree, they saw Adiza just as Boma had described, her head in her lap, her hands moving swiftly as she braided her hair. Wofia was so shocked that she shouted, "Adiza, what are you doing?" Adiza looked up, her eyes wide with surprise. She knew she had been caught, but before the girls could do anything, Adiza vanished into thin air right in front of their eyes. The girls were so scared that they ran back to the hostel, their legs trembling with fear. The next morning, the entire school was buzzing with news. Adiza is gone, everyone whispered. Her bed is empty and her locker is clean. It was like she was never here. The teachers searched everywhere, but there was no sign of Adiza. It was as if she had never existed. The students were frightened and confused. They didn't know what to believe. Was Adiza a ghost? Was she a spirit? No one knew the answer. From that day on, the story of Adiza became a legend at Century High. The students would whisper about it during late night study sessions and around the campfire. They would tell the story to new students, warning them to stay away from the old banga tree. But some people could not help but wonder, was Adiza really gone, or was she still out there watching and waiting? The mystery of Adiza and her disappearing act remained unsolved, and the fear of what happened at night stayed in the hearts of the students at Century High for many years to come. As time passed, the school tried to move on, but strange things kept happening. The big old banga tree in the forest began to grow even taller, its branches stretching out like long bony fingers. Some students claimed they could hear whispers coming from the tree late at night. Others said they saw shadows moving around it when no one was there. Wofia, Ama, and Boma couldn't forget what they had seen. The memory of Adiza sitting under the tree with her head in her lap haunted them every day. They tried to convince themselves that it was all a bad dream, but deep down, they knew it was real. One day, Wofia had an idea. We need to find out more about that tree, she said. Maybe if we learn its secret, we can figure out what happened to Adiza. The girls were scared, but they knew they had to do something. They started asking older people in the village about the tree. At first, no one wanted to talk about it. The villagers were afraid, but finally, they found an old woman named Mama Amina who knew the story. Mama Amina told them that the banga tree was very old, much older than the village itself. That tree has been there for hundreds of years, she said. It is a sacred tree, a place where spirits come to rest. Many people have disappeared near that tree, just like your friend Adiza. The girls listened in horror as Mama Mina continued. There is a spirit that lives in that tree, she said. It takes the form of a beautiful girl to lure people close. Once they get too close, it takes them away and they are never seen again. Wofia, Ama, and Boma were terrified. They realized that Adiza was not a regular girl. She was a spirit, and the banga tree was her home. They had been tricked into getting too close, and now Adiza was gone forever. The girls decided to warn other students about the tree. They told everyone what Mama Mina had said and begged them to stay away. But not everyone listened. Some students thought it was just a scary story and didn't believe them. They continued to go near the tree, hoping to catch a glimpse of the spirit. One night, a group of boys decided to test their bravery. They went to the forest and stood near the banga tree, laughing and daring each other to get closer. Suddenly, the wind began to howl. The branches of the tree started to move. The boys stopped laughing and looked up in fear. A figure appeared from the shadows. It was Adiza, but she looked different. Her eyes were glowing and her smile was eerie. She beckoned on the boys to come closer, but they were too scared to move. Before they could run, the ground beneath them began to shake. The roots of the banga tree shot out from the earth and wrapped around their legs, pulling them closer to the tree. The boys screamed for help, but it was too late. The tree swallowed them whole, and they were never seen again. The next morning, the students of Century High were in a panic. The boys had disappeared, just like Adiza. The school was in chaos, and the teachers didn't know what to do. The principal called a meeting and announced that the forest was now off limits. No one was allowed to go near the banga tree ever again. But the fear didn't go away. The students were afraid to go to school. The village was filled with whispers and rumors. Some people said the school was cursed. Others believed that the banga tree was angry and would take more victims if they didn't do anything to appease it. Mama Mina was the only one who knew what to do. So she told the villagers that they needed to perform a cleansing ritual to calm the spirit. The villagers agreed and gathered around the banga tree, bringing offerings of food, drink, and incense. They prayed and chanted, asking the spirit to forgive them and leave their children alone. The ritual seemed to work. The tree stopped growing, and the strange occurrences around the school gradually ceased, but fear remained. The students at Century High never forgot what had happened, and the story of Adiza and the banga tree became a legend that was passed down for generations. Even though the spirits seemed to be at peace, the villagers never let their guard down. They knew that the banga tree was still there, and they knew that the spirit could awaken again if they weren't careful. So they kept the story alive, reminding each generation of the danger that lurked in the heart of the forest. And so the mystery of Adiza and the banga tree became a cautionary tale, a story told to children to warn them of the dangers that lie beyond the safety of the village. It was a reminder that not everything is as it seems, and that sometimes the most beautiful things can hide the darkest secrets. What other lesson have you learned from the story of Adiza and the mystery of Century High School? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to support this channel, like, and hit the bell notification icon so that you'll be notified when I drop amazing African stories. See you in my next video. Bye.